Hello, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone with my friend Joan of Angels. Hi, Joan. I'm so excited to spend time with you. It seems like it's been forever. And this year's gone so fast. I mean, the whole 12 months has gone so fast. So tell me what's going on.
Well, so it has been forever, absolutely. And I'm so happy to be here with you. I love your thing, Conscious Business Zone. I have been really kind of coming out with a bigger direction. I've kind of integrated many of my soul aspects, and I have really come out with several programs that I'm going to start talking about. I launched my new show next week, Shine Your Brilliance. Which is shine your brilliance, turn up your light, and live your best life now. And so that's really what I've been teaching people now, how to live your best life, how to not only remember who you are, but to kind of gather it together so that you can start to remember the gifts that you have, your special gifts, so that you can remember all the skills you came down here with and become a master of it. So clear the field of everything that doesn't serve, so you can unpin yourself and start to do what you came here to do. Shine your light, be the best you can be, and live those dreams. And so that's what I'm doing very actively now. Everything I do is about shining your brilliance, turning up your light, experiencing your presence, like how it is to be more powerful, so that when you walk through the world, and I do teach this, when you walk through the world, how people will feel your presence and they'll feel who you are, and sort of it carries that high vibrational frequency that uplifts everyone around you.
That's fantastic. So I want people to know a little bit more about you because they don't know about all your superpowers. Joan was a chiropractor for years, and then all of a sudden she became an artist. She had this huge download, and she became an artist. And she probably always was an artist, but she didn't know it. And then I know that she was upgraded to her 14th dimensional aspect because I was part of, I got to witness that. So let's give them some more to go by, because if they don't know you and they
anything. Right. So guys, I should tell you a little bit about me then. I'm very shy. I had a very tough childhood, and my dad was extremely abusive. And so I hid in the closet. That was my safest place. And my entire life, I've had a push-pull about coming out, presenting my work, or hiding in the closet. And sometimes a friend of mine who passed on, he somehow pulls me out of the closet and says, you got to go do this. You got to go uplift people and talk about who you are. But when I was younger, I had a curve in my spine, and they took me to the chiropractor, and I didn't need surgery. And years later, I became a chiropractor because I could feel people's pain. I have always felt people's pain. I've known where they hurt. I've known where their heart hurts. And so I've always been involved in healing. And I was involved in healing for a long time in my chiropractic office, wildly successful, until I met a man who kind of brought me down. Don't want to give him the credit for it, but I ended up waking up and having lost $500,000 in this abusive relationship and having to have the police pull him out. And so that caused me to go on a journey of looking at, how do we lose our power? How is it that a strong, independent woman could actually suddenly give it all away under the thumb of an abusive, controlling narcissist? And so the rest of my life from that moment on has been dedicated to helping women and men really step into their power and really come back into full authenticity and begin to sing their song, like to find your center, your creative genius, your creative brilliance, and sing your song. And I suppose that's where I come from, that I suffered, my kids suffered. You know, the guy almost killed me with a guitar that I had paid for. I was more concerned about the guitar because I paid for it, you know. My kids had to call 911. So I've had a challenging upbringing that left me really wanting to serve and wanting to help and wanting to use my gifts. I've always been inordinately kind of empathic. And I understand, I turned out I'm far wiser than I ever knew. And in 2013, after a particularly difficult time when I begged the universe for a miracle, I was like, please send me a miracle. You know, I wanted cash. Just that was my miracle. Rather than do that, they sent me this message, paint 33 angels in 30 days. And once I said yes, everything began to unfold in a more proper manner, if that makes sense. And so I painted those angels, and a book falls off the shelf that says your call for angelic assistance has been heard. I mean, I was a mess. And that's how I launched and became known as Joan of Angels, for the art, for my connection with the angels, and for helping all of you feel how much more powerful you can be, how you can connect with all your soul aspects. And I want to address that in a couple of minutes, because Kathy and I did a great reading years ago. And she left me with this message that was like, well, you're going to be integrated when you're in a ceremony. There'll be 12 people in that ceremony, and you'll be integrated. The light will strike and you'll be this 14th dimensional being. And I don't think I ever told you what happened, because I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to have to get 12 people. Where am I going to get 12 people to come to this ceremony? What the heck is she talking about? And right before I left the desert in 2022, in the summer, I was invited up to Joshua Tree to an event for the weekend. And these women came up to me and said, can you call aliens? And I asked my guides really quickly. It was like, can I call aliens? And they said, yes. So I said, oh, yes, but we don't call them aliens. We call them star family. Can I call my star family? Yes. And so we set the time for the ceremony at 8. And little did I know that in the end, 12 women rearranged themselves. There were 12 women there. And I was in the center and they were all there. I didn't know that, though. Some women received messages that they shouldn't be on the property and they left. Other people received messages that they were supposed to be on the porch and not out in the center of the field like we were. And it lined up that there were exactly 12 women around me. So I just do my thing. I send our roots down the center of the earth, my antenna. I don't know if anything's going to happen. Honestly, Kathy, they just told me to say yes, you know? And so I sort of do this meditation, and I'm sort of chatting about whatever I was chatting about. And then we're all in silence. And I hear a voice that says, look up. And I say to the voice, there hasn't been enough time. Said, look up. And so I yelled to everyone, look up. And sure enough, there's a ship overhead. It came from the mountains, and it actually stopped overhead, and it kind of shined these cosmic lights. So we all knew it was there. And then they took off. And I was just mesmerized. And I realized that that was my activation. That was my complete activation. I felt the cosmic. And ever since then, I've been really working with other people on gathering their soul aspects. I do the soul aspect portraits for people. And I think that really worked. But it was I didn't have to do anything except say yes.
I love it. I love it. So much of the stuff that I see when I do people's readings, it is like that, like, what are you talking about, lady? And then, 4 months later, someone will call and go, oh my God, it happened just like that. And I don't question
like
it
that.
anymore.
I mean, I thought, oh, it's never going to happen. I started asking people, would you come to this ceremony? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But no, it was so organic. We called in the extraterrestrials, and that cosmic energy just came through.
Yeah.
And I think what it makes me realize, and this is for all your audience too, is like, there's a lot of power in saying yes. Yes. You get a call, you're most of you are probably a little clairsentient and clairaudient, or you hear something or a nudging. And the key is to say yes and to step into it. And I also realize why there's so much fear. So, I do wing fluffing. Also, I help people feel their presence. So I do a class, purpose, passion, presence. And what we realize is that we all have these gifts. We just have to raise our frequency, raise our vibration a bit so that we can connect with our guides and angels. But it's really all about stepping into your personal power, because you are needed now. There's no doubt about it. We're in the shakiest of times and you are all needed. And so it starts by saying, yes, I'll accept my assignment. I'll accept this. I'll go beyond my 3D limits and I'll start to use my gifts, because it's those gifts that you came here with, which make up that uniqueness of you. And that's your purpose. So we're all here to help right now in these difficult times by saying yes and shining.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So lots of people have channeled work that says that we were angels, or that we are angels embodied in human form. How do you feel about that? Are you finding that most humans that you work with or that you spend time with, I mean, they have angelic aspects. I mean, some people we know are angels, but I mean, they just are full of love and just amazing. But the average person, like there's a gentleman named Joe what's his name? Michael, that's from England, that channels Joseph. And Joseph says that we all started as angels. Do you agree with that?
Well, that's a really good question. I haven't really thought of it that way. There are people that are not angelic on this planet. I don't attract most of them. However, all of us who are kind of angelic women, angelic being, many of us have a habit of attracting narcissists or other people who want to take advantage of us. So that's something to be really aware of, is learning to discern people's energies. I want to address being angels on the planet. I had a dear friend who told me one day that she remembered when she came down here, a billion years ago, whatever. And she said, Joan, I arrived as a full angel and I had my wings ripped off by the, other beings that were here, our wings ripped off. And I say that because there were times where it was very dangerous for us to be angelics or healers or herbalists or people who can help other people, kind heart. And many of us have soul trauma where we were burned at the stake, not just once, but numerous times, or drowned or hung, or, whatever those lower frequency people did to people like us. So there's a whole soul memory that many of you probably have. And so in the work that I do with when I start working with people on your presence, is we clean our wings and we start to heal that part of us that we've had to hide for so long. And when I first came out as Joan of Arc, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, Joan of Angels. I've been a part of Joan of Arc though my entire life, so I'm not surprised it slipped out. And I was called to do a mission with a friend of mine on working with the giants, and it was a dangerous mission. And I remember saying, oh my God, I'm not as courageous as Joan of Arc was, I'm not as courageous. And then I heard this voice that said, no, none of you, we, all of us collectively, like me, are not going to experience being this trauma again. And so we can heal those wings. We can kind of begin to confidently come out with our gifts and talents, knowing that it's safe to do so. And here's the thing, is everyone angelic on the planet? No, Kathy, I just don't think so. There's a lot of people who've been taken over or lowered their frequency to be taken over more by the dark, or who act as agents of the dark to keep you from getting what you want inadvertently.
Okay, so I have a question about angels again. I know you're doing soul portraits now, and do you actually feel the other people's angels when you're in their presence, when you're working with people?
Sometimes I do, yes. Sometimes I'll feel their
Cool.
angels. And I've been tuning into that more and more, but I also can feel more of a sense of what they're really here to do, of what is standing in their way, or what needs to happen for them to be able to shine your brilliance and access your very special gifts. So my readings have changed in that component. I just offer something called spiritual guidance, I think, or and soul awakening, but it doesn't matter which one. Honestly, your guides tell me what we're going to do when we get there. Sometimes it's activations, re-encoding. So I do things with the art even. So when you get a soul aspect portrait from me, then we set up an activation and I align the portrait with your energies as well.
Perfect, perfect. So, the angels that work with you, do you have a whole team, and do they keep changing as your energy changes? Because I know your capacity, 14th dimension, you can probably walk in and out of it. It's really hard to stay here and be in that high of a frequency all the time as a human being. But do you feel like you've had a new team
You
brought
know,
in?
it's very funny that you asked me that, okay? Because I wouldn't have known what to say a few minutes ago, but I tuned in and I go, okay, so what is going on here? And I started off being very clairaudient, and I would hear in my right side. And then what's happened is that sometimes I'll hear up here. And so when I just tuned in, it's like I have a team. So when my team comes, it's sort of like right up in here. I can feel it and it comes down this way. But I still have guides that will just give me a message here. And then I'm clairsentient, so I just know. And I really like that sense of knowing. When I know, I know.
Well, the reason I asked is that a lot of the people I've worked with, I have the book, the MAP Team book, which is the medical team. I'll grab it in a minute. But anyway, there's you can call on your team to heal you at night while you're sleeping, or you
Yes.
can go up to the Arcturians and go to the Ascension gate and be worked on that way. I just wondered, I assumed, maybe incorrectly, that you were now being guided by different masters that could access, you can access a more expanded view of everything. So I see the planetary consciousness as seventh dimensional. And then when you get to 14th, you have you have so much bigger perspective and connection to source. So that's why I was asking, because I think it'd be cool.
Well, there are times I can connect directly. Let's put it that way. And those are so I can get galactic information. It's more like I just don't, because I'm not always in that space. But when I work with people, I can tune in to their team and tune into what is up for them.
Well, does it direct you as well? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, seriously, you're on a journey of total trusting what the universe is going to unfold for you next. So that's a lot more courageous than most people that are listening to this.
Yes. So it is interesting. I'm completely being guided where to go, where not to go. I was supposed to be on a plane next Wednesday for Barcelona, but it didn't unfold, right? So now we're in the middle of going, okay, where are we supposed to be? It really also completely okay about being guided to where I'm supposed to be next. But it is interesting. I was on a call last night with Deborah Giusti. I don't know if you know her, and on the call, there was a woman who does this extraordinary work And I said to her, well, how come I haven't been able to find a permanent home? And she said, and this was kind of interesting, she said, well, Joan, you have 3 lifetimes where you were a gypsy and also on the planet, and a few when you were a gypsy off planet, and your home was completely destroyed and your planet was completely destroyed. And so a part of you feels there's no place that you could go. And so that's been part of the issue that I've really had in terms of really just deciding where I'm going to live. Like once I unpinned, I'm not willing to go where I don't feel a soul call to.
That's very exciting. I think that's very amazing that there's such a connection, that you're getting clear guidance. And that's what I hope everyone that's listening to this knows, that that's part of what your services are, is to help them get clear
Very clear
guidance.
guidance. Yeah,
Right.
clarity on, and also I think I love helping you understand your gifts,
Right.
really learning how to use them. So in 2020, when we started to, after we were sort of shut down and everything, it was summer, and I was really confused. It was like, do I get depressed? What do I do? It's all like, I just didn't know what to do. And I heard my guides said, Joan, you were gifted this name and this title and this essence for a reason, as Joan of Angels. If you don't feel like doing it, my dear, just lay it down. Someone else will come and pick it up and pick up that mantle and do that work of healing, uplifting, inspiring, teaching everyone how to shine their light. So I went on to teach a 30. So I realized I really needed to center, and I offered a 30-day. Every day I got online for 30 days without fail, at the same time, on helping people just trust their intuition. So we all have a call, and if you don't use it, so if you don't say yes, well, either they'll come around and ask again, or they won't. And the truth is that you yourself will get frustrated. I had this palm reader in 2015 say, hey, did you know you were supposed to be famous, but you blew it? And it's true. I was supposed to be famous. I always knew it, but I was so shy. And I went on a path with that abusive guy rather than the other path that I was on in my chiropractic office. And I knew I blew it. And that was pretty painful. He did say, well, your time will come again. It just won't be the same. But if you don't listen, this is an important issue on learning to listen and trust if you want to step into your creative genius and your gifts and have the best time of your life.
Right. The other thing that what I want the audience to think about is the sage wisdom that working with women that are that have life experience, versus the people that are brand new at business or life. There's a lot of benefit to working with people that have experience and can guide you through the tough things, the tough decisions, and help you see really a path that I believe you'll get there anyway, but you could go shorter, a shorter, easier distance, right?
Yeah, it's all about resonance. I think most people these days need mentoring in some way, shape, or form, because we get trapped in our own mind or our own patterns. And so mentoring is really good. And the wisdom that I have is probably millions of years old. I'm kind of a practical mystic because I really look at how you can incorporate it here on the planet. Even though my head's in the clouds, my head is always in the clouds. And I teach you also how to have more vitality. I think I'm a product of Youngering. And I've been practicing Youngering for many years. And And I teach that. I can teach you that also, how to have more vitality and more energy so that you can be like a radiant beam of light. And I do have a class coming up, but I'm not ready to promote it, on becoming a radiant. Ooh,
Perfect.
yeah,
Oh, that's perfect. And I think, when you have passion and purpose connected, you automatically have a unending well of energy because it's not work. It's
right.
really, you're out there and it's just the flow of it all just is coming through, right?
So we have 4 things: power, passion, purpose, and presence. Presence, we work together to feel the presence of our spiritual team and our angels. When you walk through the room, or when I go on stage, or like when Victoria and I started teaching how to do this, how to embody your highest frequency presence so people feel it and you're not falling all over the place, and how you harness your power. Now, that's not power over, that's power to command, power to do your work, power to show up. It's a whole different, and yes, it goes with your purpose because it fuels your purpose. So you do what I used to teach in my chiropractic office. I used to tell everyone that they could be like Superman, learn how to leap over tall buildings in a single bound, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. And I used to say that every week in my chiropractic lectures, but it's true. And that is how I wake up. I actually wake up like that. I wake up excited about whatever it is I'm doing.
And I think this is what I'm hoping that the audience will get a lot of enthusiastic curiosity about how they can do that as well, because we're out of the victim mode if we choose to be out of it, and we get to be co-creators with the universe at a very high level, but we have to choose that. And
Right.
so it's that's what you're saying is don't be bashful, time's a wasting, let's go for it now, right?
Right. Don't be bashful. Time's a wasting. Do it.
Yep, yep. So as far as the connections that you see for this future time period by going through change, are you finding that the embodiment of your essence is a key recipe for success during these changing times? Or what would you suggest for people, because there's so much controversy, polarization, there's so much going on in the world that we're aware of every second now. Is there something that you suggest as far as, grounding in so you can be vital or anything like that?
Well, it's really about aligning your body, mind, heart, and soul. And what does that mean? So your body needs to be at a frequency that is a healthy one. Let's put it that way. The foods you eat, the nutrition, the herbs. And I'm definitely a naturalist. So as a chiropractor, honestly, I taught people how to heal their own body, how to heal from the inside out. That in itself is really important. And that's in that way I can act as a medium for that, a medical medium in a sense, to help you understand what your body really needs. So, and that's critical, because how can you talk to the angels if you're, in the end, if you're not at that right frequency and vibration? So then that's your body, your mind, your thoughts. And so it's about harnessing your thoughts, because thoughts are real and thoughts come back as in the physical. So if you think, my boss is a pain in the neck, don't be surprised if you have a pain in the neck. So learning how to monitor your thoughts, only, you can only have one thought at a time. It could either be positive or negative. So learning how to do that. And then there's your heart. Learning how to check your heart and heal your heart is really important. It's actually really critical, healing your heart. I teach people how we can take it out and smooth it around, and then to connect with your soul. And so a very simple process to connect with your soul is to start chanting your name over and over again. You know, we chant to the name of God. We chant the Hugh or the Om, and we chant that. But if you take your own name and like Kathy, Kathy, and you really do it like a Buddhist chant, you will find that your energy, it becomes extremely stimulating to your soul, and the joy that comes through because you're acknowledging your soul. And so it is a kind of to chant your name in a beautiful way in practice. My voice is rusty, or, Joan. Because we're doing all these chants and tones anyway. When you chant and wake up your soul, that's when you're going to get like the creativity. You're going to shine your brilliance because your soul is waiting to be activated and protected by you, and even connected to you. Because some of us, some people out there don't really have a soul.
Well, I guess I'm mostly thinking about the people that are conscious business, small business owners. They may be servant leaders, so they're spending a lot of time taking care of their employees and their customers, but they don't get to take that much time for themselves. So this show a lot of times is featuring people that are resources for them to use to help them be all they can be, because they're putting so much energy out. We have to refurbish it and fill your battery. So
Yeah, absolutely. Filling your battery is really, really good. And, having a good coach that can also help you. For many years, I've always coached chiropractors and other business owners also in terms of, first of all, getting the purpose and the passion for your business. It really begins with your own heart and what that whole purpose of this business is, your mission, and how it combines that, and how you can work with your team to also support you to do that. But also, yes, as the boss or the entrepreneur, learning how to replenish, rejuvenate, so that you can even be a magnet for clients. You can just call your clients in every day, which is what I used to do in my chiropractic office. I'd go in early and I'd go, this is Radio Dr. Joan and Berkeley, California, El Cerrito, San Francisco. And I would just broadcast every morning in my office. I would do like a 5-minute, no one was in the office when I would do that. And I would pretend that I had a radio show calling everyone.
I love that. I love that. So, so, so
Right?
yeah, it sounds perfect. So right now, why don't we go to your website so you can walk people through and they can get an anchor with your site and you. Okay.
Perfect.
So I'll
Yes.
show it real quick and then you can tell me
Perfect.
how to navigate it the
Okay,
best
so
for you.
perfect. Embody all that you are. You can join the newsletter without the free book. It's a good book on how to find your soul purpose, if that's what you want. But notice that I'm in that teaching mode. I think it's a wand that I have in my hand.
Well,
What
it's
is
a paintbrush that
the
looks like a
paintbrush?
wand.
Yeah, it was my makeup thing.
That's great. I love it. So, and here's Soul Essence Portraits.
Yes, the soul, capturing the beauty within you, capturing the soul aspect. So one of the beautiful things is that if you sign up and have this, you end up with a video, like a 60-minute, 2-minute video of the variety of soul aspects that I found and that we created for you. And then we go into a session where I show you the video and we chat and I tell you what came through for me. And then we usually pick the same one to be printed. So you actually get a portrait, 24 inches by 18 inches. You get a
Wow.
great portrait. Yeah. And then we activate it. So it's aligned with you. And you can go on my YouTube. I think we may have some here, sample. Go back up and click learn more or read
Read
more.
more.
But if you go to my website and
Wow.
see it too. Oh yeah, so those are some of the images
You created these?
Testimonials on here. I don't see any testimonials. Go down. Oh, yes. Okay, yes, all these are images that I did create. Go down. I'm looking to see if the video is on here too. Well, it's not, but we'll get it up
There's
there.
testimonials.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I had put some of the videos. Oh, yeah. So there's, why don't you turn that on for a second?
Okay, let's make sure. I hope the sound works.
Oh, right. Oh, there is no sound. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah. And this was a woman that I did a lot of coaching with her first before we even were able to get these clear images for her.
Could you say that again? I had the volume up pretty high.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I do. I'm sorry.
Well, you're recording, so that's good.
Well, Arcturian frequencies.
Yeah, she's extremely Arcturian. Absolutely.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, she's got her warrior aspect.
So beautiful.
Arcturian council. Yeah. And in the end, she took 3 paintings.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So she has them up in her house. And honestly, they talk to her. This one was my favorite, that one.
Mermaid.
And then this one she took also. And then that one she took because they were all so different, the Galactic Empress. So Cosmic Soul Art. And on my website, I have a video of Elizabeth April. Some of you might know who she is also.
Yes.
So you can find it there too.
Wow. Okay. So tell us a little. Okay. So you use your knowledge of angelics as well as ETs to do all of this. I mean, you started out painting angels, but now you're using, and is this all AI?
Some of it's, yeah, this is
Wow.
AI art. So I'll take your pictures and then I start putting them into different forms and then I have to curate. I mean, honestly, I can have I have to curate the ones that are actually relevant for now or that feel important.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
The one on the left, the Egyptian, is actually me. And that came through when I was looking at some of my energies before I went off to Egypt last year. And so I was the source for that one.
Wow. Wow. I was there too at some point, but someday I'll figure all that out. So we want to make sure everyone knows to go to joanofangels.com and you'll find so many different opportunities to work with Joan. Should I click the service?
Click on the art first. Let's click on the art and then we'll come back to the services.
Which one? The Discover Joan's Art?
Or go to purchase Joan's Art. That's fine.
Okay.
And it will take you to my other website, which is my gallery. And so we have heart art, angel art, divine beings. We have portals. Oh my God, I love those portals. We have animals. Take a look at the mushrooms. We have the more mystical. So click on the tiger here or the leopard. And these are very shamanic. These are really powerful. Scoot down. You'll see some of the lions and elephants that I put on now.
Ooh. Leopard's gaze.
I love the pink elephant.
That's beautiful. And, my daughter loves giraffes.
Right? I'm a giraffe lover.
Yeah, they're amazing. Look at these. And zebra. Did you know that each zebra has different
yes,
stripes? It's like fingerprints.
But giraffes do too. They have different markings also. But look at these cute giraffes. So cute.
Baby.
So cute. Yeah. Yeah, so take a peek there, take a peek at the angels or the divine beings. The divine beings also
Let me see if I can
have a
get.
lot of power. And the mystical landscapes. I have vision.
Which one should I do? Angels? It would start angels here.
Let's go with the angels. This
Wow.
art in your office, it just raises the vibration and the frequency of your office, especially the
Wow.
angelic ones.
So Joan, you created how many paintings when you first when you were told to paint?
When I was told to paint, they told me 33 angels in 30 days. Like they even give me a timeline. You had 30 days to complete this. And I said yes, and I started painting. I just sold that Egyptian angel the other day.
They're all
On
oh,
the
that's
right there.
gorgeous.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got Egyptian art right behind me. So yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I just wondered if more people realized about the energy of all of this, Joan, that they would really, it would really assist people during this changing time. Well,
Yeah.
no matter how they had it, if they even just, I don't know what kind of canvas, I guess you can get it on just about anything. But wow, just to have these pieces in your space.
When I meet people in person and they'll come up to my booth or table, I will muscle test them to show them how these paintings can change their energy,
Oh,
give them
cool.
more vitality and actual more energy. And they feel it in their body because, suddenly they go from weak to strong. It's very empowering. And that's what it does for you. And if we activate the art for you, then it'll channel for you. It'll help heal you. You'll get answers, and it'll raise the frequency of the room even more than
Fantastic.
crystal.
Fantastic. And I mean, this is almost looks Renaissance like. It's so beautiful. I mean, really beautiful. So Joan, what are you seeing for now that's the best suggestion that you have for people as they're going through this time? And it's mostly the reason I bring it up is I really feel that judgment is really high right now. I mean, it doesn't matter what subject you try to talk to someone about. I went to lunch this past weekend for a birthday lunch, and of course, it just started all, there are five of us, and all of a sudden, what do you think about this? And, no one's really looking at the high road of things right now. There's a lot of fear. Do you have any suggestions? Because I know that your connection to that wider perspective, the 14th dimensional perspective and higher is such a different way to look at things compared to the people that are in struggle and strife here and are concerned. Do you have any suggestions for us?
I do. First of all, we should all remember that we actually chose to be here. Okay, we chose to be here knowing that we'd be in the most difficult time of planet Earth. From 2020 on, that we were called to be here for now. And if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, if you're someone who's really trying to feel into the energies, well, first of all, the planet is crazy right now, and the people are crazy. They're run by fear, and also the system is promoting that fear, promoting this division, and it's all artificially inflated so that we are not able to come together. But understand that in the bigger picture, in the cycle of things, all is unfolding for the highest good of all concerned. Because when you stop and tune in, you can feel these higher energies coming. And even if it's not playing out, even if bridges are collapsing and, they're killing all the birds and chickens, and we understand what's happening out there, we also know that the systems are collapsing for the greater good. So behind all of this disintegration is all of us on the other side saying, we are here. We understand what's happening. We can help you. We can help you gather your strength again. I mean, it's not a time to engage in conflict. It's not a time to have, philosophical conversations with people whose points of views are different from yours. Give them their space. You take yours. What is your space? Your space is, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to turn up my light. I'm going to shine my brilliance. I'm going to fluff my wings. I'm going to walk around like I know who I am and that I can be of service in these ways, because in truth, that's why you're here. You're not here to go into fear. You're not here to go into the little picture. And if you can sit up here with me on the 14th dimension chai cafe, because that's what we drink energetically up in my little coffee house on the 14th dimension, and we look down at humanity, we can see how stressed and how manipulated they are being. The key here is to use your discernment tool. Is this right for me? How does this feel for me? Do I believe what I'm reading, or is it just a bunch of baloney? It is actually time to not sit on the fence and take a peek at everything you're looking at and doing to see if it really resonates for you. And if it resonates for you, it's a yes. Put your wings on again. If it doesn't resonate for you, don't go in that direction, because there's a lot of things coming out at us now that are lower frequency, and they are not meant for you because they'll destroy your energy. They will drain you. And so, and that drain is happening deliberately so that people like us don't get our groove on and don't step into our big purpose, our soul contract that we agreed to be this higher dimensional frequency. So it is up to you to make a decision that you're going to check the frequency of things so you know if this is right for you. You can understand and interpret what you're hearing, if that's right for you. And so you can know what direction you are supposed to be in.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Well, the other thing I want to add to that, or hardly anything that I can, is that this was supposed to be fun. And so the thing is, once you get more clear on what works for you and not judging other people's path, because they're all part of the sparks of source. And they're all on their own learning journey, just like we are. We're not done, or else we wouldn't be here. We're still cooking. So
Right.
there's still so many opportunities to grow. But I find there's so many times that I find that someone will go, oh, I don't like them or that, and they resonate with me. And so you just have to know, okay, well, there's something I can learn from reading that book or listening to that YouTube or going to that movie that maybe those people don't need to know. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
Need to know. And also, not everyone is at your spiritual level. Like millions of people are in front of you, or billions are behind you and to the right and left.
Right.
You're exactly where you are supposed to be. And if we have activated you today, because there's all sorts of activation codes that have been put in here, then you're going to feel a shift in vibrational frequency.
Mhm.
You're going to go, oh my God, I've just been turned on. I'm a contagious, radiant being.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic. And we know that everyone that's supposed to see this, we hope that they'll share it with others so that we can activate more and more people, because you did stand in line to get these bodies to be here right now. And even though you were part of the A team, that's for sure, because not only the brave and the courageous would do this, but I really want people to know how glorious this can be. During the Great Depression, more millionaires were made than ever before. So if you're not caught in fear, if you're not frozen, and you can make co-creative decisions during this time, there's great opportunity to serve mankind during this time period of change, because nature abhors a void.
A vacuum.
And as
You're
these
so right.
things, huh?
You're so right.
Yeah. So as these things, as the old systems tumble, and I want to add one other thing, because I know that you've studied a lot of origin information, the ideas that were here planted on Earth long ago that have either been in secret societies or hidden, or and I'm feeling that they're finally coming out now, because we're not as violent a species. So a lot of the concepts of how this system really works is going to be available to those people that are stepping up fearlessly to lead during this new time. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that we did all, those of us who came down were thoroughly vetted and trained. And it's a matter of accessing your memories. Like Kathy did that session with me, my 14th dimensional self. And then I did the work. So when you do the work, then you can remove what's keeping you from really being fully authentically you. Whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and who knows, because it's all imperfection in a concept that we can't maybe understand, but we can appreciate.
On a planet far away.
Well, thank you so much, Joan. I love you, and I love getting together with you, and wish you great success in everything that you're doing. It's just fabulous. Your website looks beautiful. Your art has expanded quite a bit since I saw it last. And it's very exciting to see the journey of you activating all these people.
I know, and I think that's amazing myself too. Grateful to you, Kathy. I love working with you. Always have felt a lot of resonance with you. And that's the other thing, guys. You look for resonance, not disharmony, resonance. Like who gets you more excited and more enthusiastic about who you are? That's resonance. So
Right.
I'm really grateful, Kathy. I love seeing you. I love your work. You're an amazing host, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're really good. And I love being on your show, and I want to book an appointment and be back.
Okay. Well, just so everyone makes sure they know how to find you, will you say again the best ways to reach you, please?
JoanofAngels.com.
Oh, that's easy.
Instagram, Joan of Angels. Facebook, Joan of Angels. Joan of Angels.
And behind you, you can see it, Joan of Angels, right?
Joan of Angels. And one person did take my name on Instagram. And I wrote to her, she was an astrologer. And I said, oh my God, you must be an awful astrologer if you have to pretend to be me to do your readings. And and her account must have disappeared because she's not there anymore.
Oh no. So
yeah, I wrote to her. I actually put it on one of her posts. It was like, you really must be terrible if you have to use my name.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, that just means you're made the big time that somebody wants to impersonate you, I guess, but not. Well, anyway, well, thank
Almost
you.
trademarked. I'm almost trademarked.
Well,
to use my name. Hold on.
okay.
Okay, we got it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to spend time with you again soon. So
love you dearly.
Love you.
And love all of you out there. Thank you. If I can help you unpin, let's do it.